Dynasty, a succession of rulers from the same family or line. They say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and in the case of Kirk and Michael Doughlas, that saying couldn't be more truthful. Actors, producers and Academy Award winners, both men followed their own distinctively successful paths through Hollywood. The surname Doughlas is almost synonymous with Hollywood royalty, and in a world of wealth and fame, the acting legacy has been passed down from generation to generation, and with Michael's son Cameron entering the acting business, this dynasty looks set to continue. Kirk, the spirited American-born son of Russian Jews, fought prejudice to become the quintessential leading man of the 50s and 60s. One of the world's biggest film stars of that era, Kirk forged a career as memorable for its off-screen achievements as for the restless, tough guy characters that earned him 3 Academy Award nominations for Best Actor. With roles in such indisputable Hollywood classics as Spartacus, Kirk achieved the kind of cinematic superstardom that dreams are made of. The legendary actor's films have now become famous in pop culture, with the mountaintop scene from the 1960s Spartacus included in Pepsi advertisements.
Spartacus! I'm Spartacus! I'm Spartacus! I'm Spartacus!
As the torch was passed to his talented son Michael, it became obvious to moviegoers that the Doughlas dynasty would continue to thrive. When he started his career in the early 1970s, people were all too ready to tag him as the next Kirk Douglas. He defied critics by accepting sensitive anti-hero roles, a far cry from the macho leading man parts that his father was most famous for.
Stand before you this evening as a very, very happy man.
One of the most sought-after actors in Hollywood, Michael has reached the pinnacle of success. He became a hugely bankable star in the 1980s and 90s, winning a Best Actor Oscar for his memorable performance in Wall Street. As a producer, he won a Best Picture Oscar for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Taste for adventure.
As the son of a screen icon, he has stepped out of his father's shadow to become one of the most revered Hollywood figures of his own generation.
Now we have to kill him.
Completing the trio is Michael's son Cameron Douglas, marking the 3rd generation of Douglas males. The result of Michael's first marriage to Deandra Douglas in 1977, Cameron joined his father, grandfather and grandmother in the 2003 film, the aptly titled It Runs in the Family. Kirk, Michael and Cameron. It was the Douglases' day out as all 3 generations of the famous Hollywood family gathered to celebrate the premiere of their anticipated family film. Kirk commented that he couldn't have had a better time working with the whole clan.
It was the apex of my career. My 86th movie, working with my son Michael and my grandson Cameron.
The first time the 3 generations have appeared in the same film, it tells of a dysfunctional family and their attempts at reconciliation. It also stars Kirk's first wife and Michael's real-life mother, Diana Douglas.
Using the palm, whack, smack in the kisser. Push his nose right.
Cameron admitted it was helpful to have 2 of Hollywood's biggest names for guidance.
Don't worry.
If any time I ever had a question or anything like that, they were, right there to answer it and help me out. And, it was more than that, just watching them and learning by observing was more important. I don't know.
Married to Oscar-winning actress Catherine Zeta-Jones and the father of 2 young children, will Michael's youngsters, Dylan and Caris, grow up to join the illustrious Oscar-winning lineup of Douglas talent? This acting dynasty has ruled Hollywood for generations, and with Cameron now appearing on the silver screen, they show no sign of slowing. Screen legend Donald Sutherland began an acting dynasty that would last generations when he starred on the silver screen in 1964. Following his father's successful path through the trials and tribulations of Hollywood, Kiefer Sutherland has proved his longevity in the world of acting with Emmy and Golden Globe Awards. With younger son Rossif joining the two on the big screen, the Sutherland acting dynasty is thriving. A well-established Hollywood star, Donald made a name for himself in some of the most influential films of the 1970s and 80s, including The Dirty Dozen and MASH, in which his performance elevated him to superstardom. Throughout his career, he played a number of diverse characters, and his versatility was shown in both lead and supporting roles. He has proven himself adept at a wide variety of acting styles, from work in action thrillers to domestic dramas, as well as art films.
With your parole officer's approval, of course.
Well, I like the guy, Stella, you know that, but we never really connected.
Donald's continued success later in his career with roles in films such as The Italian Job and Pride and Prejudice proves that he's got what it takes to remain a force.
Who will maintain you when your father's dead?
Your mother will never see you again if you do not marry Mr. Collins, and I will never see you again if you do.
Mr. Bennett. Thank you.
Born into the famous acting family, Kiefer debuted on stage before he set his sights on a career in Hollywood, following the footsteps of his famous parents, Donald and Shirley Sutherland. The younger Sutherland smoulders with the best of them. Like his father, Kiefer has the ability to play both villains and heroes, with his intensity often unmatched by actors of his generation.
I don't believe this.
Breckenridge? Jill Marin, sir. Your secretary said
He bears a strong resemblance to his father, with both possessing striking, if unconventional, good looks, which have allowed them to be leading men, but work best in moody character roles.
4 languages, computer skills, second in your class at the academy. Well, aren't you the recruiting poster? Resumes don't mean a lot to me.
Further strengthening their acting lineage, Kiefer is the 3rd member of his distinguished family to receive a star on Canada's Walk of Fame, joining his mother and his father.
If you want a career here in PID, you might want to invest in some more appropriate clothing.
Kiefer's career lived up to its early potential with his critically acclaimed performance as federal agent Jack Bauer in TV series 24.
30-minute warning before that building was supposed to be hit. You had plenty of time to evacuate the personnel.
Mr. Bauer, there were extenuating circumstances.
The action thriller made Kiefer a major star and added a number of acting trophies to his mantle, including Emmy and Golden Globe Awards and a 2006 Screen Actors Guild Award as Outstanding Performance by a Male Actor in a Drama Series for his performance.
You need to get out of Chicago now.
What are you talking about? Why?
When I covered your autopsy report, I used a targeted program to get onto the Emmys database. 3 days ago, somebody infiltrated my hard drive remotely.
Kiefer wasn't the only Sutherland seen on our TV screens, with Donald part of the cast in Commander-in-Chief, starring Gina Davis as the American Vice President, who assumes the role of Commander-in-Chief when the President dies. Donald's role as one of the old boys, who isn't impressed with a woman in the Oval Office, earned him a Golden Globe nomination in 2006.
Do you solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States?
That I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States.
Donald's son from his 3rd marriage, Rossif Sutherland, followed his father and half-brother into acting, appearing in the films Red Doors and the movie based on the Michael Crichton novel 2003's Timeline.
Your father is in the 14th century.
What?
We need you all to help get
From
him back.
Donald to Kiefer to Rossif, the dynasty of the Sutherland men is now forever cemented in Hollywood. Francis Ford Coppola's family filmmaking dynasty includes such stars as his Oscar-winning daughter Sophia and acting nephews Jason Schwartzman and Nicolas Cage. Powerful forces in Hollywood, this talented family tree can only expand and reach even greater heights. One of the most acclaimed directors in Hollywood history, Francis Ford Coppola heralded a golden age in cinema, which he defined through masterpieces like Apocalypse Now and his cinematic masterpiece about an American criminal dynasty, The Godfather.
I want you to rest well, and a month from now, this Hollywood big shot's gonna give you what you want.
Too late. They start shooting in a week.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
The film is consistently ranked as one of the best in the world and became one of the highest grossing movies in history and earned the director an Oscar for Best Screenplay and Best Picture. It also spawned a sequel that rivaled the success of the original. Sofia Coppola reached great heights when she became the first American woman to win an Academy Award for Best Director in 2004 for her film Lost in Translation. Her win cemented the reputation she established with her directorial debut, The Virgin Suicides. As her grandfather Carmine and father Francis each won Academy Awards, her Oscar victory made the Coppolas the second three-generation family of Oscar winners after the Houstons.
Old Blue Eyes. Yeah.
After her nomination, Sofia admitted her father hadn't given her much advice.
We didn't talk about this day, but with all of you know, this kind of awards, he was saying, you know, enjoy it and try to have fun, and so yeah, it's been fun. Overwhelming. I'm just trying to learn how to just take it all in and enjoy it.
In order to avoid cries of nepotism as the nephew of Francis Ford Coppola, Academy Award-winning actor Nicolas Cage changed his name from Nicholas Coppola early in his career. Receiving an Oscar for his performance as a suicidal alcoholic in Leaving Las Vegas, Nicholas's other nomination came for his role as real-life screenwriter Charlie Kaufman and Kaufman's fictional twin Donald in the film Adaptation.
The snake, it's called Ouroboros. I don't think so. But anyway, it's cool for my killer to have this modus operandi because at the end, when he forces the woman who's
often seen in offbeat and low-budget films, Nicholas has come a long way since appearing in his uncle's film Rumble Fish. Since then, he has proceeded to carve out a place of his own, playing a series of quirky characters, proving he doesn't need his family connections to survive in Hollywood.
No, my doctor gave those to me. They're prefects.
They're supplements.
Prefects! Prefects!
Cousin to Nicholas and Sofia and nephew to Francis is Jason Schwartzman, whose mother is Oscar-nominated actress Talia Shire. Best known for his roles in the films Rushmore and Shopgirl, Jason easily fits in with his family of Hollywood royalty and has followed the path of Nicholas in playing oddball characters.
Hello. Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm an okay guy, by the way.
Are you the kind of person it takes time to get to know, and then once you get to know them, they're fabulous?
Yes, absolutely. What?
Say this blanket.
Prior to acting, Jason was the drummer for the band Phantom Planet, but he has since proven himself not only a capable performer, but a powerful screen presence with a promising future.
Exactly, because we are connected.
And in the typical Coppola tradition of keeping it in the family, his cousin Sofia cast him in her 2006 historical film Marie Antoinette as the King of France. As the driving force behind a generation-spanning dynasty of filmmakers, actors, writers and composers, Francis Ford Coppola has created a lasting Hollywood legacy.
What?
As the king of rock and roll, Elvis began the Persley dynasty with his famous hip-swiveling moves and catchy songs. His legacy lives on, with the Persley name still well represented in Hollywood, thanks to his singer-daughter Lisa Marie, his ex-wife Priscilla, and his model granddaughter Riley Keough. From the days when Elvis excited millions of fans with his pelvis thrusts and catchy tunes, it was evident that a music star unlike any other had arrived. His death on August 16, 1977 left an indelible mark in music history and in many hearts around the world. And for many people, that meant the end of a music phenomenon. Elvis has the distinction of being the only artist to be inducted into all three of the Music Halls of Fame, including rock and roll, country and gospel. Such was his popularity that he holds the record for the most top 10 pop singles, the most gold and platinum awards, and is the world's best-selling artist of all time, having sold more records than any other artist in history. His relationship with the 21-year-old Priscilla Beaulieu would ensure that the Persley name continued. Priscilla first met Elvis in West Germany when she was in the 9th grade, and Elvis was stationed there as a GI soldier. After several years of having a relationship with Elvis, she married the King of Rock and Roll in 1967 in Las Vegas, Nevada. Their marriage produced a daughter, Lisa Marie, who would carry on the family dynasty. Priscilla, Elvis's teen bride and later a successful actress, author and businesswoman, carved out a career as a spokesperson for beauty products before turning to acting. She played the lead role of Jenna Wade on the soap opera Doughlas from 1983 to 1988. In 2005, Priscilla collaborated with daughter Lisa Marie and released a behind-the-scenes look into Elvis's life in a book filled with private photographs, candid family interviews and very personal memories. Elvis and Priscilla's daughter was born exactly 9 months after their wedding. Lisa Marie came into a very welcoming but invasive world where, as Daddy's little girl, all her wishes came true. As a singer, Lisa Marie struggled with the fame that the Persley name carried. Her highly publicised relationships with Michael Jackson and Nicolas Cage, as well as her battles with drugs, proves the daughter of the king is no stranger to the spotlight. She established her own career while dealing with the unavoidable comparisons to her music icon father. Her debut album, To Whom It May Concern, saw her step out of Elvis's shadow. The statuesque granddaughter of Elvis, Riley Keough is an in-demand model and a favourite with designers such as Dolce & Gabbana and John Galliano. The daughter of Lisa Marie and her first husband, Riley is also the face of the Dior fragrance Miss Dior Cherie. With her mother's beauty and her grandfather's attitude, she is sure to be a star. With his family's achievements pushing the dynasty he created to great heights, Elvis leaves behind not only a lasting legacy in the hearts of his millions of fans, but a family well equipped to deal with the pressures of Hollywood. The Sheen-Estevez clan is one of Hollywood's most loved family acting dynasties. The patriarch responsible for actors Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez is Martin Sheen, actor, director, and a tireless activist. Not only is Martin Sheen the father of a modern dynasty of actors, he is also a successful award-winning actor in his own right. His poignant lead performance in Apocalypse Now catapulted him to fame, and the endearing charm that radiates from his performances has seen Martin's prolific career excel from stage to screen to television.
You will not ever know the identity of undercover people.
You have anyone in with Costello presently?
Maybe.
Do you know who I am?
Martin's eldest son Emilio followed him into acting, but didn't adopt his father's stage name as he wanted to try and get roles based on his own talent. Most famous as part of the 1980s Brat Pack, Emilio starred in teen movies like The Breakfast Club after getting his big break in the Francis Ford Coppola film The Outsiders.
Tell me about Derry. Is he wild and reckless like Soda, or dreamy like you?
He ain't like Soda, and he sure ain't like me.
Starring a host of up-and-coming young actors like Matt Dillon and Rob Lowe, the film became a pop cultural phenomenon. 2006 drama Bobby saw Emilio spread his talents behind the camera as well as in front of it as he turned to directing.
Malt scotch, Tim.
Well, we had an agreement.
I haven't had a drink all day.
You've been sleeping all day.
Managing to sidestep the celebrity pitfalls that affected his family and fellow Brat Packers, Emilio has matured into an acclaimed writer and director.
In the embassy ballroom. Try and stay sober enough
to not embarrass us in front of the next president.
A leading man who has displayed a knack for comedy, Charlie Sheen is nearly as well known for his off-screen exploits as for his acting. After scandals that would have ended many actors' careers, he overcame bad press and bad habits to enjoy a major comeback on television in the late 90s. His first major role was in Oliver Stone's war drama, Platoon. His well-publicised struggle with drug abuse saw him enter rehab, but he became Hollywood's comeback kid when he was cast in the leading role of the popular sitcom Spin City after the departure of actor Michael J. Fox. He also returned to the big screen.
So if he doesn't want to go anywhere, he doesn't have to, right? Right.
Right. You gonna let him fight your battles for you?
He again showed his comedic acting in the horror movie spoof, Scary Movie 3, alongside his then-wife Denise Richards. The couple, who have 2 children together, divorced after 3 years.
Where is my daughter?
Are you mad? I am your daughter.
Like father, like son, Martin and Charlie both starred in their own respective television shows. As US President Josiah Bartlet in The West Wing, Martin received 6 Emmy nominations for his role, as well as a Golden Globe.
Charlie, draw cash for me. How old is the planet Mars? That's a great question, Katie. The planet Mars is 4.6 billion years old.
What did I just say?
I knew that one.
Nobody likes a know-it-all.
Okay.
The West Wing won 26 Emmy Awards, tying it with Hill Street Blues for the most Emmy Awards ever won by a television drama series. Included in this record-equalling haul were 4 straight awards for Outstanding Drama Series.
Pass up an opportunity to put a high-ranking Democrat behind bars.
Greg Brock is going to resist any attempt to compel him to reveal his source.
Damn it, CJ! I've got 3 men up there trying to take very, very shallow breaths.
While his father was playing the US president, Charlie starred in the Emmy-nominated sitcom 2.5 Men, about a single bachelor whose lifestyle is interrupted when his newly separated brother moves in.
What happened? I have no idea.
Martin Sheen is a proud family man who has seen all 4 of his children enter the acting business, with both Emilio and Charlie enjoying successes comparable to or in excess of any he's known. This acting dynasty shows no signs of slowing and is cemented in Hollywood history.